Hey everybody, this is Anthony Olympio with Six String Country. In these lessons, we're going to be working on Who's Cheatin' Who, made gigantically famous by Alan Jackson. It's actually a cover song. It was written by Jerry Hayes, old Jerry. Man, this song kicked my butt learning the guitar part. It's one that I think I played it out and about, but never really learned how to play it for real. The lead lesson and the solos, there are lots of them, is definitely, if you're looking to level up, this will level you up. It took me a while to kind of be able to work up to tempo. You get to work on your thumb pick skills, chicken picking. It's pretty much like a Brent Mason extravaganza. It's awesome and so much fun. Rhythm guitar wise, we're just hanging out. No big deal. It's gonna be super fun. Let's dive into it.
Everywhere you look, you can write a book on the trouble with a woman and a man. But you cannot impose, you can't stick your nose into something that you don't understand. Still you wonder who's cheating who's being true, who don't even care anymore. It makes you wonder who's doing right with someone tonight, and whose car is parked next door. I really couldn't tell that she had another lover on her mind. You see, it felt so right when she held me tight. How could I be so blind? Still you wonder who's cheating who's being true, who don't even care anymore. It makes you wonder who's doing right with someone tonight, whose car's parked next door.
Welcome to the rhythm lesson for Who's Cheatin' Who. We're gonna be pretty straightforward here. Really nothing too crazy. It's almost 3 chords in the truth. We do get a little surprise in the chorus. But really it's nothing too complicated. No capo, just dive right in, all right? Say we're just we're wanting to strum something along with this song, because I really don't think, an acoustic is super necessary. But if you're just wanting to play this out or play along, this is what we'll do. Intro, let's just lay out in the beginning. Let's say we don't really come in until the whole band comes in, right? Like the bass and everybody's, boom, we're rolling. And we're just gonna strum the G chord for 4 measures. Right, super simple there. Strumming pattern 1, right? Like I said, most of the song. So let's just move on to verse 1. And I will say verses and the solos are the same progression. The solos happen over the verse progression, which is, I feel like a lot of times in songs you go like, hey, was the solo happening over the verse or the chorus? And I feel like a lot of times the verse, in more country songs, the verse is kind of where the solos would happen. So yeah, the verse progression, we're gonna do a measure of G, measure of C, back to G for a measure of D. And this is all on strumming pattern 1 here. Staying on that, we're gonna go to G, and then a measure of C, breaking out strumming pattern 2, because we're gonna go a half measure of G, and then D, and then back to G chord string pattern 1. Okay, let's strum that through slowly together. Here we go, 3, 4, G, C, G, here, okay? It's gonna go measure, it starts off like the verse. It's gonna go a measure of G, measure of C, measure of G, just like the verse did. Then half a measure of D. This is where we break out strumming pattern 3. It's gonna go like this. Right, we talked about that a little bit ago. It's gonna go half measure of D where it's down, down, up, and then these 2 down strokes when you mute the F chord. Right, make sure you chop those off, because that's really part of the character of this song. It sounds cool. And then we dive into the second half, we get a measure of G, measure of C, and then strumming pattern 2, we're gonna go a measure of G, half a measure of G, half a measure of D. Okay? And then, so chorus 1, right after that, we go to the turnaround, which is the same as the intro, which is just 4 measures of G. The electric guitar gets to steal all the thunder. But yeah, so now that we got all these parts, let's play them with a metronome. We'll start with the intro, where it's just 4 measures of G. It's a little like whatever, but let's just get on the same page. All right, intro, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's do verse 1, and again, all the verses are the same except for verse 3, where we do the stop at the end, okay? 2, ready, go. Compression just helps with chicken picking so much, where I feel like it smooths out a lot of the notes, where some notes that you want to play softly for the attitude but still need them to be heard, compression will take care of that stuff. The same way I feel like a lot of times funk guitar, you're going to town with your right hand and doing all these little hammer-ons and things, and you want it all to be kind of, to really make it effectively dance. You don't want it to be too extreme, where like the louder parts are super loud and the soft parts are barely audible. You kind of want to compress those inward, right? Where the louder parts are kind of here and the softer parts are kind of there. That's sort of what the compression will do for you. But it doesn't have to be a crazy amount of compression, really. It's on my right hand. Sometimes I use my ring finger, but I feel like it's sort of redundant in this style, this technique. You get most of your movement with just the first 3, the thumb, pointer, and middle. So you do the open D and G, and we're gonna hit the D and G a lot with this riff. So again, and then as soon as you hit those top notes, you can probably, if you can, lift off or mute with your right hand. It's kind of difficult. Make sure the lower note mutes. And then we're gonna do the 3rd fret of the low E. Kind of muted or open, it's sort of up to you. It's hard to do slowly, but now we're gonna do 2nd fret of the D, open G, back to 3rd fret of the low E, and then 3rd fret of the D, open G, and then open strings. See, I'm kind of like, instead of, you want to make sure they almost kind of sing individually. And then we're going to do a slide, 1st fret of the A to the 2nd. And this is almost like, I had almost like a panic attack trying to go like, what are they doing there? Is it a slide or is it a bend? It's almost kind of like a banjo slide sometimes, where you slide at just the last minute. So it almost sounds like a bend, but and then we do this other run. So I'm on the 6th fret of the G with my thumb, and then I'm gonna go 3rd fret of the B, back to 6th fret of the G, 5, 3, open B. Now 5th fret of the D after that. I guess what I'm doing there is thumb, middle, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb. And then open D, hammer onto the 2nd fret, and then open G. Whew, and that concludes that solo. Phew, doggy. All right, so let's do that slowly together now. We know what's going on. Do our best to stay in time. With the pickup, here we go. 1, 2, 3.